It's not a real word at all. Yeah, it's the first mystery of the whole film. Is which is quite common with Charlie's films. I think nobody could say Synecdoche in New York. I'm not sure I still can, but as Charlie said in a press conference at the time, he says, "What's wrong with that? Everyone's learned a new word. You know, everyone's complaining about not being able to say it." But anyway, Anomalisa isn't a real word, but you'll only understand what that means when you see the movie. Basically, what it was is we were on the stage at lecterns with a script in front of us. Carter Burwell with a small orchestra was to one side of the stage, and central in the stage was a Foley artist doing all the sound effects. So the effect was really, it was a live radio play, and it worked. It was conceived to be that. It worked beautifully, and it was just a shame it was only on for 2 nights, and I thought that would be the end of it. But anyway, that's how it all began. To work with Jennifer Jason Leigh was a draw, because I'd known Jennifer for many years previous to this, and we'd never worked together, and we'd always said that we would one day find a way of working together, and we'd never quite found the right project. And then this came along, and Charlie had already written it for me and for Jennifer. So Charlie put us together, but in a way that Jennifer and I had always wanted to do anyway. Well, the story is follows my character, who is called Michael Stone, and he is a married man with a young child. We get the impression he's an unhappily married man and not a very observant father, and not a very happy man. He's a author of a book called Helping You to Help Them, which is a kind of motivational advice for sales representatives and phone workers, and so he's a motivational speaker and author, and it's a very, very simple story. He's on a business trip to give a speech in Cincinnati, and he arrives in Cincinnati and he checks into a hotel. He tries to get in touch with an old lover. That goes horribly wrong. He meets up with another woman on his way back to his room, and a brief love affair, very brief love affair, takes place. Such a kind of story of isolation and disappointment and longing and existential crisis and transcendence and hope, and but it's told with such great gentle humour that it's forgiving of all our foibles. Jennifer's Jason Leigh's voice fits that bill so well. It's obviously why Charlie wrote this for her, but there's something so mellifluous, musical about Jennifer's own voice. She wouldn't agree at all. She doesn't get it, I think. But well, it's such a beautiful voice, and it's certainly when it's laid into this the texture of this film, which is just mundane, banal, awful kind of uniformity to the world. To hear this tinkle coming through the airwaves is obviously the metaphor for the finding of that one other in our existence that we're always looking for, and it's some connection to someone that does not apply to anyone else in our lives. There's just one person we've been looking for. So that's what she represents, and that's how Michael sees her and pursues her. And didn't expect the characters to look so real. And I think that's one of the things that is unique about it, because we're not used to seeing stop frame animation made to look as real as possible. And great care was taken. I mean, the characters breathe, and their hair moves in a natural way, but without looking. There's nothing computerized. There's no computers not used at any point in this. This is absolutely every frame of it is real stop frame animation. Nothing synthetic. It's another incredible piece of work. I mean, I think he's a genius. I don't use that word lightly. I don't really use it about anyone, and I've certainly never met one until Charlie. But I do. I think the guy is some kind of genius, and just everything he's done. It's right up my street. I always find myself relating very much to everything he's ever done.